England, home of tea, sarcasm and, oh yeah, a million years of human chaos. But before we had chavs and football hooligans, we had, well, a different breed of lunatics. Let's dive in. 900,000 years ago, some ambitious flint knappers rocked up in Norfolk. And by rocked up, I mean they left a few stone tools behind and disappeared into history. Multiple waves of prehistoric Brits followed, probably wondering who left their mess behind. Fast forward to 29,000 years ago, a guy gets buried in Wales, covered in red ochre, decked out with ivory bracelets and missing his head. Either a tragic accident or the world's earliest fashion statement. 15,000 years ago, humans finally stuck around long enough to carve some cave art in Nottingham. They were hunter-gatherers, but with a twist. Kinda like early Deliveroo drivers. But instead of food, they delivered arrows to deer, bears and anything slow enough to get caught. Also, footprints. We found their actual footprints in the mud. Imagine stepping in wet sand thinking this won't last. And boom! 10,000 years later, archaeologists are analysing your toes. By 4000 BC, people figured out that growing food was easier than chasing it. Cue agriculture. But it was slow going. There was no agricultural revolution. Just thousands of years of you might as well plant something. Also sheep. Not native to England. We imported them because even 6,000 years ago we were outsourcing. By 2800 BC, someone had the bright idea to build a circle of massive stones. Stonehenge. Why? We have theories, but the bottom line is we don't know how they got the blasted things up there. Fun fact, these stones came from Wales, meaning some prehistoric builders had to drag them 200 miles. Bet they weren't getting paid overtime. We even found a guy buried nearby, now known as the Amesbury Archer, with a ton of bling, making him either a VIP or history's first hoarder. By 900 BC, things got metal, literally. The Bronze Age kicks off, and suddenly England's full of swords, fancy jewellery and warrior aristocrats. Basically the Iron Throne before Game of Thrones. People were trading with Greece and Spain, and their version of Amazon Prime was boats full of gold, tin and handcrafted mystical artifacts. Then came the Iron Age hill forts, warriors covered in blue woad and tribal leaders arguing over who had the best cows. These guys loved war, feasting and headhunting. Druids ran the place, priests, lawkeepers and fans of mistletoe, oak trees, and I can't forget human sacrifice. Because at this point in history, that was usually on the table. By 100 BC, Rome was watching, thinking, nice place. Shame if someone conquered it. Spoiler alert, they did. But here's the kicker, prehistoric England never really left us. Our fields still follow ancient boundaries, our roads trace prehistoric paths, and some churchyards still sit on top of Neolithic sacred sites. So next time you think England's history starts with castles and kings, remember it all began with hunter-gatherers missing heads and a bunch of overworked guys dragging rocks from Wales. Or was it aliens? Maybe Stonehenge is a portal. Perhaps that's another video for another day. Follow for more, because if you think things are already messy, then just wait until I get to England's royal lineages.